word offense. I like to take apart that word. Again, I like puns. I think about literally an O, fence, where all of a sudden around you there's a circle or a fence around you. And if you look at who's in the middle of the O fence, it's usually you, right? Or myself. The middle of the O fence is me. And it's really about me and what's going on with me. And if you ever heard the term, where, offense or when you're getting hurt like that or those kind of wounds, it's like you're drinking poison expecting for the other person to get hurt. And those things and those thoughts and those incidents begin replaying in our mind over and over and over again. And we think about better ways to maybe hurt that person or say this next time I see them. We replay those things and they become toxic. They become toxic inside of us. And then that natural progression happens where hurt people hurt others. And if we've been hurt by that, then sometimes out of the gate of our mouth, sometimes we begin hurting others as well. Now, I kind of just went to the end of the stronghold, but going back to the beginning for a moment, the incident. When you think about the incident that took place, you got to think about this. There is a battle at the gates, okay? When you think about warfare that happens, if you've ever seen movies with warfare, they try to storm the gates of a city. And once they knock the doors down, then they have entrance to get in, and all of a sudden that's really where the battle's won. It's at those gates, right? If they can knock the doors down, then all of a sudden the rest of the intruders can begin coming in. And you got to realize, number one, that you have gates to your soul. You have gates to who you are. If we go back to the message where I talked about receiving God's communication for you, how do you receive it? You receive it by your facilities that help with perception, your eyes and your ears. Your eyes and your ears are gates. So is your mouth, right? But doorways in are through your eyes and ears, right? Those are doorways to get into your soul, into your spirit, your eyes and ears. God uses those doors. Okay, God uses your eyes and ears so you can begin receiving His communication to you. He also talks to you directly through your spirit as well and through your soul. All right, but again, the incidents happen because we receive some communication, and we got to realize the author of that communication is the enemy, and he's trying to traffic his words, his purposes into our soul in and out. Okay. And so we got to realize there's a battle at the gates. There's a battle at your eyes and there's a battle at your ears. And what happens is that once invaders start coming in, then all of a sudden we're starting to battle sometimes for the enemy through our own mouth. Have you ever said something that hurt somebody else? Have you ever said something and thinking, man, why did I say that? I would never say something like that before. Why did that come out of my mouth? Or I was just so angry that just came out. And you got to realize that the enemy has been working on that to get that in and through you. All right, to hurt somebody else. Just like you've been hurt by people that you've loved. People that you didn't think would ever say something like that to you, and they said something that hurt you, right? And they might have been used by the enemy to hurt you, but likewise, we have often said things out of our own mouth that have also been utilized by the enemy to hurt others. Now, that's a little bit of a scary thing. And someone might be thinking right now, so does that mean I'm demon-possessed? And hold your horses on that, all right? So no, I'm not saying that you're demon-possessed, but think of it like this. Perhaps there was a airspace, right? Think about, Africa, for example. If sometimes we think about the movies where a plane is flying over and they drop something, they drop supplies down into the land. Now, there's no-fly zones, right? There's certain places where certain aircrafts from certain countries cannot fly in those places. And I believe there are places in our heart and mind as we come serving God or growing up where our parents taught us, hey, have a no-fly zone. Don't let these thoughts in. Don't let the enemy come in here. Don't be thinking about these things. Don't go in this direction. And we put up perhaps temporary no-fly zones in our heart and mind. But then the enemy somehow found a way in through an incident. And now it's like the airplane just goes overhead. And what happens? It drops its own supplies down. It drops toxins down. It drops things that we feed on that are not good for us. And then as we begin digesting that, we likewise release the toxins of the enemy out to others. So the goal is that we can keep trying to fight all the toxins of bad food, but we got to get back to the place where the enemy has no airspace in our life, where the enemy has no foothold in our life. Because again, when you look at the stronghold or doorway, the enemy tries to come in and traffic his thoughts in and out through that hurt, through that pain. You look at a wound. If the wound stays open and starts getting red all around it, we know that it gets infected. The enemy is trying to infect our souls, all right, with that offense, with that hurt and that pain. Some of us have dealt with hurts and pains for years, some of us for decades. Some of us deal with unforgiveness, and we don't realize how much that could be affecting us. Our prayers can be hindered by the unforgiveness in our life. That is a fact. There could be physical things that are taking place in our life because of unforgiveness. And so this is something that we seriously have to look at.